Introduction. Procrastinating is always putting off until later what you can do now. Are you a procrastinator? Let's take the test. When you don't accomplish a task, do you feel like you are not in control of your life and your choices? When you don't achieve a goal, do you feel guilt and shame? Do you feel permanently stressed and unable to relax? If you answered yes to any of these questions, this book can help. Procrastination is not a trait that is unique to you. It's an unhealthy habit learned in childhood. What you need to stop procrastinating is a change of mindset and some simple tools. In this book, we will look at the following. Where does procrastination come from? How do you learn about procrastination on your way to adulthood? How to get out of procrastination in 3 rules. How do you overcome the difficulty of setting out on a goal? How to avoid distractions. Our answers to these questions are easy to understand, simple to implement, and quick in result. Ready to get out of procrastination? Let's go. Where does procrastination come from? Procrastination is a strategy to avoid the fear of failure. We procrastinate when we have to do something important that is not part of our routine. We always have 3 thoughts about procrastination. You find the requested or desired work boring and feel that you lack the motivation to start. You want to do a good job to meet the expectations of others and feel proud of yourself, but you are not sure how to do a good job and what the consequences are if you fail. In this context, you have 2 options. You don't procrastinate. You do the boring task at the risk of failing and disappointing others and yourself. You procrastinate. You avoid the boring task and the uncertainty of failure. In general, we tend to choose the second option and put off the unpleasantness. Despite this, human beings are not born lazy or unmotivated. Young children never procrastinate. When they play, they never evaluate their performance or wonder what others think of them. How do we learn about procrastination on the way to adulthood? We learn early on that work is not fun. It is the opposite of play. We are also taught the obligation to be the best. But in a classroom, almost no one can be the best and therefore fails at this goal. So it makes sense that most people procrastinate because they find the work unpleasant, both boring and with a high probability of failing to become the best. How to get out of procrastination in 3 rules. Rule 1. Stop thinking about the obligation to become the best on the first try. Failure is an inevitable part of learning, and those who never fail never learn. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Do your best without worrying about the consequences of failure, and if you fail, get up and try again, as long as the stakes of the task at hand are low. This is the smartest strategy. Rule 2. Change your inner monologue. It's not enough to just do things. You have to have a clear goal and really want to achieve it. So change your I must, I should expressions into pragmatic I want, I will, I have decided to. With this positive inner monologue, you are in control of what you want to do, when, where and how you want to do it. Rule 3. Integrate the relationship and the game into your daily life. Oddly enough, a procrastinator shares the mindset of a workaholic. They always feel like they have a ton of unfinished work, don't have time to rest or relax, and feel guilty if they don't work. Non-procrastinators consciously use games, breaks, and rewards to recharge their battery and be productive. Those who know that a boring task will be followed by a game will find it easier to motivate themselves to get started. How do you overcome the difficulty of setting a goal? When faced with lofty, nebulous goals, we tend to procrastinate and do things that offer quick rewards. If you want to achieve a less threatening goal, break it down into smaller 30-minute tasks and make yourself a list that you can cross off. If the task is doable in 30 minutes, it will be easy for you to find the motivation to start it. And once completed, you will feel a sense of accomplishment when you cross off the completed task. You can boost your motivation by following up these small tasks with small rewards like breaks or walks. Structure your day into several 30-minute units and focus on one small task each time. By doing this, you will work in a more focused manner, avoid distractions, and make incremental progress toward your goal. At the same time, don't forget to make a list of enjoyable activities and include them in your week, such as meeting friends or going to the movies. By planning your week in this way, you'll be working toward your goal in a focused way, without ever feeling like it's an obligation. How do I avoid distractions? Distractions are subtle forms of procrastination. Whether they are internal or external, they are difficult to avoid. To limit the damage to your concentration, take a sheet of paper. Write down the thoughts that distract you and get back to work. Once you've completed your little task, read your thoughts again and judge whether that thought is good or bad for your life. And usually no, they are just distractions. Conclusion. Procrastination is not a character trait. It is the cause of a negative attitude towards work acquired in childhood. Plan your life around your 30-minute work slots and your leisure time. If you like the summary, click on one of our partner links to discover The Now Habit by Neil Fiore, PhD in ebook, book or audiobook format. And if you're not interested in reading further, we recommend you discover The Power of Habit. Why We Do What We Do in Life and Business by Charles Duhigg. Breaking a bad habit is complicated. Even with a strong will, the temptation to revert to bad habits is strong. You feel like you are in the grip of a power, By learning at the root how a habit is formed, you can overcome that power. In this book, you will learn: what is a habit? Why are habits so hard to break? How to stop a bad habit more easily? How to resist relapsing into a bad habit? What is the process for changing bad habits in an individual, organization, or community? How can our habits influence us unconsciously? Our answers to these questions are easy to understand, simple to implement, and quick in results. Ready to break a bad habit? Let's go.